So this is what Duke Cayenne looks like from up close. It's hard to believe that I've ended up in the same room as the leader, although I guess we did meet back in Legram before.
Reen Schwarzer, truth be told, we don't want this war to drag on any more than you do.
Really?
We only acted as we did, due in part to our dearly departed Chancellor's behavior being far too unreasonable to justify turning a blind eye. He garnered the trust of His Majesty, and in turn misused that trust. He flagrantly disregarded this nation's beloved culture and traditions, treating Erebonia as if it were his own personal property. Surely you too noticed.
Well, I can't say I disagree. We did hear story after story during our field studies about how aggressive his policy, about the way he didn't care how many enemies he made as a result, creating terrorist groups like the Imperial Liberation Front.
But as I said, the cause of our nation's ills is now gone. Now, all that remains is to turn back the hands of time just a touch, and the good old days of the Empire will be upon us once more. The key to this bright future lies in putting aside our differences and joining—
I'm afraid that yes, you are. Do you honestly believe that people can so easily put aside their differences after all? You occupied Heimdall and effectively took every one of its citizens hostage, imprisoned the and let's not forget how you're now in league with the enemy nation responsible for the destruction of Garrelia. After all that, the Imperial Army would never bow their heads to the likes of you, even if the rest of the population did.
My word, I'm afraid there's been a terrible misunderstanding. The Imperial family is simply under our loving protection. But that does bring me to exactly why I want—
It does?
The Azure Knight is already on our side. But if we had your Ashen Knight as well, that would mean we'd have two of the great knights of Erebonian legend to put into play. Couple them with our Panzer Soldats, and the Imperial Army's armored divisions would— You may not find us winning the war ideal, but this union benefits everyone more than carrying on until our inevitable
I don't think it's that simple.
I beg to differ. The presence of Soldats units on a battlefield makes a tremendous difference. What they may lack in firepower and armor compared to tanks, they make up for in mobility and versatility. But more important than even those factors is the psychological impact.
Well,
we're only human. As such, we are as captivated as we are terrified of giant beings bearing human form. And if that holds true even for mass-produced soldats made with modern technology, it will be all the more true for the divine—
Can't argue with that logic.
I will say it once more, and with his death, all that's left to be done is end this ridiculous war and return order to the Empire. Only then. That includes both your pleasant academy life and the peaceful days of darling Elise and her friend the—
Are you trying to—
Whatever you ultimately decide, their safety is guaranteed. I would ask that you promise him this, if nothing else, Your Grace.
But of course, I'm not a monk.
We may stand on opposite sides of this conflict, but I still sit on Thor's board of directors, and in that capacity, I suggest you consider carefully the choice before you. After all, every soldier must decide for himself whether a cause is worth fighting. Perhaps even die. I look forward to hearing your answer.
All that's left to be done is end this ridiculous... Only then will... That includes both your...
I suggest you consider carefully. After all, I look forward to hearing your answer.
It's hard to argue that this war began because the noble fact, but the longer it goes on, the more people are going to suffer. If I join them, I could reduce the number of victims. Be friends with Crow again? No, this isn't that simple. Think, Rain. I was able to reunite with the others, but Elise and Princess Al... What's the best thing I can do? This isn't just about me.
Keep racking your brain like that and smoke will start coming out of your ear.
What do you want?
Hey now, no need to give me that look. I figured I was gonna find you busy thinking everything over like you're like... And what do you know? I was right.
How about you mind your own damn bit? Don't you have better things to do with your... Figure the glorious Azure Chevalier would be...
It's tough being popular. If you joined us, I could get away with doing half the work. So come on, stop freaking out about it.
This isn't something I can just decide by flipping a coin. Besides, it'd probably be an easier choice if not for a certain someone. What's that in your hand?
Grub, of course. Kinda early, but I brought you your lunch.
Hamburgers, fries, and onion rings, huh? I was expecting something more fancy like I had...
Oh, that kind of food more your thing? Okay then, give me a minute while I go ask the chef to whip something up.
No, this is fine. The burger looks delicious.
Cool. All right, dig in.
This tastes kinda different. Oh, no wonder. It's got whitefish in it.
Yeah, they're called fish burgers. Pretty good, right?
Yeah. The tartar sauce makes for an unusual extra flavoring. I like this way more than the food I had last...
Well, glad to hear. Guess it was worth putting my cooking skills to the test out.
Wait, you made...
Was my first time cooking in a while, too. Sharon could probably do better, but I wanted to give it a shot anyway. This stuff was like soul food back in Jirai where I grew up.
Oh.
To think, all the time we spent searching for the leader of the Imperial Crow Armbrust from the Jirai SEZ.
Oh, yeah. Vita was using some weird thing of hers to let you see what was going on, wasn't she? So I guess you saw what happened.
Yeah. Jirai was that special economic zone in the northwest you guys went to during our August field study, too.
We didn't run into anything like that in the Jirai, though I guess that makes sense seeing as it's under the direct control of the Imperial government and not a noble.
I seem to recall that it was annexed 8 years ago.
So you ended up going back to your old home?
Yeah, by pure coincidence. It's changed a lot since I was last there, so it was kind of surreal being back again. But it was nostalgic in its own way.
It's been bugging me for a long time. What could have made you want to join a group of terrorists like the Imperial... What was it that made you hate Chancellor Osborne that much? Tell me, Crow. I want to know what it was that made you... What kind of place Jirai was, and what you were doing before you entered...
Where's the fun in prying into a guy's past? Save all that talk for your number one and... Who's the lucky girl anyway? Elisa? Laura? Emma? Fee? And don't tell me it's Milliam, because, you know, it...
I'm serious, Crow. I really would think of telling me your past is paying... Because until I know, until we know...
You're really serious.
Crow?
My past really isn't that big of a deal. It's got nothing on yours, that's for sure. If you find yourself thinking that's all when I'm done, well, I warned you. So, you...
Yeah. Nothing you said, please.
All right. Like I said, it's just your run-of-the-mill sob story. Pick up any history textbook and you'll probably... It's the kind of story that's so common no one bothers to remember it. Like it... Back in those days, Jirai was known as Jirai City. It was a city-state off the coast of northwest Zemuria that prospered through maritime trade with West Erebonia, Northumbria, and Remiferia. It had a population of around 150,000 people, so it wasn't exactly a big place. Because of that, the surrounding nations left it alone and let us live out our days in peace. We were pretty fortunate, all things considered, until about 20 years. That was when the Northumbrian disaster struck, and much of the Principality of Northumbria was turned to salt. And as a result, trade day after day. Still, it wasn't all bad. We could make use of those to get trade going again. In fact, the one who he was the last mayor of Jirai City. He was a stubborn. I lost my mom and dad early. He taught me he was like a mom, dad, and your old. Anyway, fast forward to 10 years ago. Out of nowhere, we received this proposal. They said they wanted to extend a railway line from We relied on the sea for trade before, but there wasn't. The proposal drew overwhelming support from the city. Within a year, the city had all of its old life. But keep in mind, this was the result of huge amounts of imperial land and buildings we once treasured were bought up left. Something similar supposedly happened in Crossbelt. My grandfather sensed something was off, and he tried what he could. Then one day, someone blew up the railway line leading to. Everyone demanded that it be repaired as quickly as possible. Instead, they panned our national security arrangements for being insufficient and The city was left in an uproar like we'd never seen. That was when Chancellor Gileath Osborne, in his third year, we then received a second proposal.
The restoration of the railway, and it's in return for our continue and attain even greater prosperity.
The timing was too good to realizing this, my grandfather. Unfortunately, once you taste the sweet fruit of prosperity, it's hard to want to go back. The council, made up of influential and tempted by the elimination of customs together. And during all that, they'd conveniently found a suspect behind my grandfather. He loved Jirai more than anyone, and up till then, its people loved him too. And yet, virtually overnight, he found himself facing the wrath of. Left with no choice, he resigned from his position as mayor. Both of these things happened. That was 8 years ago. Naturally, everyone knew my grandfather. They knew who was really responsible. They just turned a blind eye. See? I warned you. Just your run of.
I don't know what to say. What happened to him after that?
One day, he just up. Once he resigned, the whole affair with the railway he lived comfortably in retirement for about half a. He just. Like I said. He was I had plenty of friends even then, but I wandered the land. That was when I met old Cayenne, who happily indulged my hatred for the Chancellor. And with his financial backing, I went out with the goal to find others who were just like me. That was the beginning of the Imperial. Gideon, Scarlet, and Vulcan were among those I recruited. I'd also met Vita then. I only knew her as the woman who would often come to see Cayenne. She guided me to a place below the city of Ortis, and there slept the Azure Knight Ordeal. One after another, I overcame the same trials you did with your friend, and once I'd proven myself worthy, that was 3 years ago. I was 16. My preparations complete, and enrolled in a military academy near the. Everything I did for the soul. Come on now, what's with the face? You look sadder.
Yeah, I guess.
I swear. I'm not trying to tell you the Chancellor.
What?
Still, there's no denying that he may have lost, but I'd say it's fairly normal.
Maybe.
At the end of the day, there's no denying this country I studied those problems, worked out. But when you think of how peaceful Jirai, I'd say I've got a duty to clear up the mess left. So it's only when that's done that my game. I don't want whatever your decision is to. Like Rufus said, for you, more.
Yeah, but.
Anyway, I think I've stuck. You're gonna be treated as a visitor. Well, it's about time for the higher-ups to head.
However I want.
There'll be no guards outside your room, so if you want to try and escape, be my guest. Just keep in mind that some members of Ouroboros and Zephyr are on board too. Not to mention me, so if you're up for a gamble of your own, get ready.
Sounds fun.
Oh yeah, one more thing. There's this real cute visitor and the guest of... I think she'd perk right up if she saw you. Just don't go making your girl jealous, okay?
I wonder who he means. He said she's in the guest of honor. Well, I can't waste much time. Right now, I can make my choice out. I can sense someone inside.
Huh? It's open.
That sounds like... Excuse me.
Oh, it's you. You finished talking with
His name's Crow, and he's never going to be anything else.
But to us, that's our leader. Anyway, got a whole lot of...
Does you asking that mean you're willing to answer? Just out of curiosity, how many members does the Imperial... I know the explosion back in the...
Sure was. We lost most of our members as soon as the war started.
Oh. Is that because the group's primary...
Basically, yeah. We all came from different so after he kicked it. Can't say I blame him for calling it quits.
Crow said that seeing this... Are the members who haven't left...
Can't speak for the others. But me, I mean, I'm a former Jaeger who can hold his own in a fight. And teaching those dumbasses in the provincial... If we disband, I'll find myself something else to do.
I see. I can't defend the assassination of the Chancellor, but I'd be happy if you chose to disband at least.
You're a funny kid, being oddly nice to us after all the shit we caused.
The cycle of hatred's gone on for long enough. Crimes you've committed will never vanish, but it's not as though you guys want war, do you?
That's enough of the niceties. You've got time to worry about us. Use it to whether you choose to side with the Alliance or you've got a tough road ahead. Make sure, and if we end up as enemies again, on the battlefield.
Excuse me.
Think I might have been too harsh. I'm still... Yeah.
He saw right. He's not wrong, though. He seemed kind of different, though. Like he'd lost his spark. His sole objective in life seemed to be to get revenge for his old Jaeger Corps killed by Osborn. Maybe he's just not... I can sense some... And judging by the fact that V is in the...
Come on in.
Excuse me.
Hello there, love. I'd heard you came on board yesterday.
Hello, Scarlet. Last time we spoke was a month and a half.
Quite a memorable day for both of us. There's no need to stand over there. I'll pour us some tea.
You really don't... Well, I guess there's no harm in chatting.
These tea leaves really are wonderful. Only the best for the airship of Erebor.
I have to admit, the fragrance is like no tea I've ever had before. You're right, though. It makes sense if it's some...
Oh? I was under the impression... Your father is a baron, isn't he?
He might be a noble, but generally barons aren't all... We live a relatively modest life.
I wouldn't have thought it before, but maybe my family was actually more well-off than yours.
And Scarlet, I heard she lost her old hometown when...
What kind of family did you...
Oh, they weren't nobles, if that's what you... They were just relatively well... We were almost local celebrities in a way.
Oh, I see.
It's written all...
Well, I can't deny that I heard that you lost your...
Oh, no, I suppose it must have been V. He never was one to keep quiet.
So...
Some things are best left unsaid. It's not as if knowing would somehow allow...
I suppose.
You're so adorable, Reen. Now what do you say? How about you come and fight with me and the other big girls and boys?
Please, stop. Anyway, thank you. It wasn't just made with high-quality lead.
You're...
Oh, actually, I may as well ask... Where did you learn how to use that weapon of yours anyway?
Oh, that? I suppose it can't hurt to tell you.
The Arteria? Where the high...
That's the one. It's called a Templar sword, and it's a traditional weapon in the church. A few years ago, I was studying to be a sister and was trained...
Surely you must be talking about some other... You're telling me there are sisters in the Septian...
There are more things in this world you don't know than you could possibly... Well, it doesn't matter much now. I ended up...
Oh?
Anyway, that's all I'll give you the full story if you just... And if you choose not to join, well, that way has its own charms, I suppose.
She ended up being a lot friendlier than I wonder how much of what she was saying about... She seemed to really hate the champ. I wonder what she intends to do now.
Good day to you, Reen.
What the? You're the You sure look comfortable.
Ha ha! Why wouldn't the furnishings are immaculate? The food, and I am of the firm belief. Ah, and speaking of opportunities, don't just stand there. Take a... You've been blessed with...
I can't believe that's how you describe yourself. Well, what the hell? Nothing... Funny. I didn't realize you'd met Prince Oliver.
Ha! Indeed. Between our shared love of beauty, he forever remains an endless source of entertainment for me.
I suddenly feel very sorry for him. What happened down in Liberl sounds pretty amazing, though. I'd heard there were problems with orbital technology in southern Erebonia at the time, but...
Ha ha! That magnificent floating city was quite the sight to behold, let me... It would have changed your view...
It really does sound... Wait, why am I sitting here having a... He has so many interesting and unusual...
Ha ha! A thief of my caliber can steal there. I was able to... Perhaps I stole your...
Rest assured that did not happen. Your stories were interesting. By the way, you wouldn't happen to know... Last I checked, he wasn't at...
Ha ha! I am... To my knowledge, he was always wary of the chance. But I digress. However, I'm inclined to believe...
So the Courageous is missing too, although the Duke's got some nerve.
But think... These kinds of things... The War of the Lions, too, with Emperor Drycles as a late... I wonder...
One of which is to bring the winds of change to Thor's military... I'll admit, I hesitated to allow it, but we believed then.
I don't think he does. From what I can tell, he intends...
Oh?
Sorry, but I should be going. Thanks for all the interesting...
Ha ha! I will be waiting at the... Naturally, I'm fast... But I'm even more fascinated.
I doubt it's half as interesting anyway. wonder who's in here.
We got a visitor?
Come on in.
Excuse me.
Figured it would...
Have a seat. Bourbon?
Yeah, I really How come you guys are being so friendly? I mean, we're on opposing sides.
Why wouldn't we be? It's not like we're on a battlefield. We're Jaegers. Nothing unusual about us trying to cut some throats one day than sitting in a bar with the same guys the next.
Of course. If you would rather fight with us, that...
I shall have to politely decline. For one thing, I don't think I'd stand the slightest chance.
Hey, now, no need to be so pessimistic. He seems to think pretty highly of you. Have a little more faith in yourself.
At the very least, you'd be able to give us... Not that I'd have any intention of...
The scary thing is, I'm pretty sure he's dead. Well, they're used to taking out tanks. They probably have their...
Huh. Oh, yeah? Ranking 72nd for the year in an academy full of big-shot students ain't half bad. Brings a tear to my eye to see our little Fee putting her heart into her education.
And don't forget, she was the youngest of her classmates, too. The boss was right when he said that she can do anything she puts her mind to.
You got that right. Maybe joining the gardening club will make her a bit more ladylike, too. Oh, who am I kidding?
She's still young. She has plenty of time to develop on that front if she so pleases.
They really seem to adore her. Like two proud parents talking about their child. And yet... If you don't mind me asking, why did you leave Fee behind? After your boss was killed in a battle with his sworn enemy, I mean.
Oh, Fee told you about that. It sounds like you're closer to her than I thought you were.
I trust this is simply me being paranoid. But you haven't tried making any moves on her, have you?
No, of course not. I just want to know why you'd abandon her when she obviously means so much to the two of you. She thought of you all like family. Why did you leave her all alone?
Well... We had our reasons. Let's leave it at that. I know you want to know, but you're not the one we should be telling that to.
We'll be sure to tell Fee our reasons in due time. Until then, leave the issue be.
All right. I can still, she's our classmate. In that sense, she's like, and we feel that way about her just as strongly. I want to be perfect.
Fighting words right there.
But still, we'll remember. Returning to the matter at hand. You're sure you haven't tried to make any moves on her?
Come on, spit it out.
They really are like two overprotective. I was hoping to get a bit more out of them about what Zeph. All we did was talk about Fee the whole... Oh, at least now I know that the guys in Zephyr really cared about her, so it wasn't a...
Having to travel to and from cross... No, I mustn't complain. I'm doing this... Wait! You're...
I remember you now. You're with Ouroboros. Duvali the Swift.
Have you no shame? Is it perhaps normal for you to barge into a lady's room unannounced? You and that Arseid are only as bad as each other, I swear! Learn your place!
Actually, I just walked through the door normally. I should have probably knocked before I came in, though.
So, now that we're understood, what have you come to tell me that you'll be fighting on our side?
Can you not jump to conclusion? Besides, it's not like you're working with the Alliance because you agree with what they're...
Oh, naturally. Lady Clotilde seems to have a purpose of her own. But for my part, I have no obligation to... I'm simply cooperating because I was told doing so was necessary.
Plan? I'm not... Just so we're clear, that lord you keep mentioning isn't Vita Club.
No. She may be an Anguis like her, but my lord is the seventh, not the second. She is the leader of the Stallritter, the great light which guides us. Gallant yet beautiful, proud yet merciful. She's the strongest knight of all, and oh, she's simply divine.
Well, you've made it clear how great you think she is. So the head of the Stallritter is also a
She certainly is. And if you must know, 100 swordsmen of your strength couldn't hope to equal her. No, 1,000, even 10,000 of you wouldn't be able to so much as scratch her.
Okay, I get it. She's still... If she's a woman who could be described as the strong... Laura already noticed the similarity between the Eisenritter and Stallritter, but she really does sound like Saint Sandlot.
I see I've got... Incidentally, I may have already mentioned her title, but one can never share my lord's glory too many... She's known as the Steel...
The Steel Maiden.
And with that, I believe that's enough idle chat. If you didn't come to tell me that you'll be fighting on our side, then as such, we shouldn't be standing here being friendly.
Yeah, I suppose. Sorry for bothering you. Actually, there was one more thing. You're not an enforcer like Blue Blanc. Is there any reason for that?
You just had to ask. Enforcers are selected by the society's leader, the Grand... And in order to be selected as one and given a number, that person needs to be burdened by some kind of darkness. But just so we're clear, there is no correlation between having a number and one's strength, all right? I'm quite strong.
I didn't say you weren't, but it makes perfect sense. You don't strike me as someone who's carrying any kind of darkness with you. You're refreshingly sincere. Like someone who hates anything that strays from the path of righteousness.
I'll thank you not to spout such nauseating dribble in my presence. Now get the hell out of my room!
She chased me out. I'm really curious about the steel. Could she really have some connection with the land? Perhaps even with the woman who helped us during our August... Given the circumstances, I imagine it... Huh? It's... It's empty. Weird. Oh, looking at her lying down like this, maybe 12 or 13? How did a kid like this end up fighting with...
Who's calling?
Is she talking in her sleep?
Situation assessed. Location is a room inside the guest area of the Pentagram. 9 hours have passed since initial loss of consciousness.
Guess she's sleeping comfortably enough here. And again, she needs it at her age. Wait.
Huh? Green Schwarzer. Unless my memories have been tampered with, I believe this room was solely allocated to me.
Oh, it was. Sorry. If I'd known you were sleeping...
So you're an intruder then? Clown Soleus.
No, it was just... Whoa! Can we at least talk about...
No mercy for trespassers. So you claim to have no inappropriate motives for sneaking into this room?
Not claim! I really didn't!
But once you walked in, you fell victim to temptation and chose to act in accordance to your desire.
No! No! How many times do I have to explain what happened before?
I was making a joke. Had you any intention of harming me, Clown Soleus would have attacked you. That he didn't proves your innocence.
Oh, right. Then what was all that? Oh, whatever. I suppose... Anyway, I've cleared my name.
If that's what you want to do, you didn't come to ask me anything then?
Well, no. Honestly, I didn't even know... I do have a lot I'd like to ask you, though. Okay, if you're offering... What are your reasons for helping me? Why do you have a puppet just like Milliam's? Just who?
The answer to your first question is, I was ordered to do so. As all information regarding Clown Soleus is confidential, I am unable to answer your second question. And as for the last one, I am unable to fully comprehend the depth of your question.
Oh, forget it. You abducted my sister and the princess. Whether you were ordered to or not doesn't change that. And it's not something I think I can forgive. Sorry. I was probably... I can't pretend to know anything about your circumstance, but I do know that you didn't abduct them of your own free will. Anyway, with that said, maybe we'll have a chance to talk again soon.
The Black Workshop.
What?
That's the name of the place I belong to. It was they who loaned me to the Noble Alliance. Unless you choose to join the Alliance, that is the most I'm able to disclose to you.
The name doesn't ring any... And loaned? That makes it sound like... I suppose it's none of my business. Thanks for telling me. I'll be sure to remember that name.
I can't see doing so holding any real purpose for you. Incidentally, did you have any untoward motives behind what you just did?
No, I did not. The Black Workshop? Loan? Sounds like stuff worth remembering. I can sense some... What the...
Oh, it's you. Forgot you were staying here too.
Yeah. What was that? It's gone now, anyway.
So what's up? I couldn't give a damn whether you joined the Alliance or not, to be honest.
Oh, I didn't come here for any specific...
Interesting. You mixed by any chance?
Could I sit and talk to you for a while?
What a pain. So, What do you want to ask?
When we ran into each other back near Berea, you asked something about being mixed.
Oh, that?
I didn't have the chance to figure out what that meant at the, but what did you...
Don't know if I can even explain that one. It's just something you feel. What we've got mixed into us is obviously different in strength and nature. It's kind of hard to put into words.
Yeah, I know you're not trying to confuse me on purpose, but I really can't wrap...
Just...
Huh?
There's no trick to it. I'm not using an ornament, it's not magic, and I'm not using an artifact either. I just will fire to appear, and it does.
So it's just a totally unnatural ability?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Something that just gives you results, without the processes you'd usually have to go through to... You've got one too.
Well, true. That power of mine wasn't... I don't even know where the power itself...
It's the same kind of thing. People who can do things like that usually have something mixed into them. Something foreign, unnatural, mixed into their body itself. Different to the church's stigmas. Looks like a pretty small part of it in your case, though.
Oh.
There, huh? Anyway, I couldn't tell you how, where, or why whatever it is got mixed into you. Sure you've got more questions, but sorry.
No, it's okay. You've answered it. I feel like I understand myself a little.
Good for you, So, we done now?
Yeah. Thanks for your... Oh yeah. So how much of you is
Me? All of me.
His circumstances seem very different from... Guess all I can do is remember what he said. Maybe there will come a... I'm sure one day I'll find out what this... One day. This should be the guest of honor. Time to see who's...
Yes? Who is it?
That sounds like... Excuse me. I had a feeling it was you, but I didn't...
It's you. It's really, really you!
Your Highness.
What are... I mean... How did... Please don't...
I'm so sorry that...
You mustn't have... Simply being able to see you again is more than I could have hoped for.
You must have been real. I'm here for you now, though. I might not be the most reliable person for the job, but I'm not going any...
So that's what you've been doing all this...
Yeah. But then yesterday, that's why I'm here.
I do recall thinking things were a little... After all, if...
Sorry. Incidentally, I hesitate...
You want to know where Elise is. She's not on this ship. I can't say for sure.
Really?
I'm sure it isn't news to you that my... And apparently, they've chosen Elise, so it's likely wherever they've been taken...
Really? I'm not sure whether to feel relieved... But why were you alone? Surely there must be...
That was Duke Cayenne's I believe he's using me to suppress potential rebellion, and by having me address the people...
Forgive me for saying so, but that's a little messed up.
I don't especially mind doing it, honestly. It's a simple... People all across Erebonia.
But at the expense of your own feelings? I know you want to help, but plus, you've been forcibly...
Yes, but... Oh, why even bother? You see through Anyway, putting my... I presume you don't intend to actually do whatever...
Well... I'm really not sure what... The longer this war goes on, but even so, I don't... And the same goes for the
I see.
There's so much to think about. And then Elise is
That wasn't your...
Ever since I was taken in, I've tried to be a... I became the person I am today. They've always loved me. You saw that power of mine, didn't you?
Well,
Back when I was a kid, something just like that happened. She should have been terrified of me. But if she was, she never once let it... And that was when I swore, deep with no matter what happened, no matter what I had to... And that's why I can't help but wonder. I can't help but wonder if now's the time to live, even if I have to ignore...
Reen. As your honorary little sister, I order you to get a hold of yourself!
What? Your Highness...
I know Elise far better than you think I do. In fact, I'd even go as far as to say I know her better than you. Reen, she's already told me so much about what happened. She told me about how that snowy day was what inspired you to take up the sword. She told me how traumatic that moment was for you. How what happened stays with you even... And she even told me that, while she hated how she felt the tiniest bit happy because of it. Because it meant that your attention, your guilt, and your sense of responsibility were directed towards her and no one else. And she knew more than anyone how selfish that was. She may have had other reasons for choosing to go to Saint Estrella, but her main reason was that she didn't want you to keep feeling guilty because of her, more than anything else. She wanted to free you of your burden. You should know, when you joined Thor's and were making new friends, and you finally seemed to be moving forward, she felt a little jealous, and even a little lonely at being left behind. But she was so very, very happy for you too. So please, Reen, please don't use Elise to justify not choosing your place in... Because I know for a fact, she wants you, of all people, to carve your...
How could I have been so blind? All this time I thought I was trying to protect her, and that's not just true for her either. Mom, all my friends at Thor's? I think I finally understand what I've been lacking inside. I was so focused on trying to protect others, others try to support me, just like I... How did I not realize before now? But better to realize late than never, I suppose. Because now I finally feel like I'm ready.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. And so? I think it's time we get going. I wouldn't want to keep my classmates waiting.
A pity, but you're right. Take care of yourself, Reen. No matter what it takes. Why are you shaking your...
I said it's time we get going. There's no way I'm leaving my sisters. I will get the two of us off.
Right! escape?
Valimar, the Ashen Knight, he's chained up there. First, though, we need to find...
Alright then. Elise is going to be so... It's my turn.
There are a lot of very strong people here, so try to keep your voice down.
Not to worry.
Thought so. It's a...
Well, that's convenient. Might it lead to somewhere else on the...
Most likely. I can't very well...
Nonsense, Reen. Of course you can.
But it's going to be all dark inside.
A little bit of darkness and dirt. I had to travel through... Alright?
No.
Hmm.
It's...
I'm surprised. It's not dirty at all in here.
Maybe it's because the ship's newly built?
Oh! There's a corner!
We must be past the guest area then.
My, that was intense. It's like I've stepped right into the world of one of those spy novels that are... What is it?
Soldiers are coming this way.
It feels like it's pretty nerve-wracking.
I just wish I could get to see...
Oh.
What?
Too late!
Good luck, Green!
Let's move. Second form. Gale!
Gladly! That was splendid!
Oh, they're strong.
Are you alright, Your Highness?
Yes, I'm fine. Let's be going.
Good. Now's our chance. Let's get him! Here I go. Second form. Gale!
Gladly! Mechanical monsters?
They're called archaisms.
Here I go!
I don't suppose escaping through the windows would be an option.
Probably not. We'll have to do this the long way.
Now's our chance. Let's get him! Here I go. Second form. Game! Now's our chance. Your Highness!
Understood! Oh, Rain! My hero!
Thank you, Your Highness.
There they are! Recover the...
Whew!
2 soldiers, 1 military monster. Stay back.
Right! Good luck, Rain!
Let's move. Second form. Game! Now!
Right! Arcus, activate! Hang in there! That wraps things up in a neat little bow.
I'm shocked how skilled you are with arts.
You are? You're so sweet. Good luck, Green!
Here I go. Second form. Game! We'll cut our own path.
Good luck, Green!
Here I go. Second form. Game! Now!
Gladly! That was splendid! Oh, look! A staircase!
Hopefully this will lead to the deck. How did you get ahead of us?
Ha ha! But not even in my...
You're a bold one.
I wasn't expecting to run into... You guys aren't called the Phantom Thief and...
Trying to praise us won't get us to let you...
Ha ha! Princess, you surely couldn't have thought...
I'm not being stupid. If anything, I was the...
Oh my! You've no doubt taken up...
I'd like to believe that I'm not quite the oddball he... I couldn't agree more with his belief.
Really now?
They're actually hitting it off.
I think that's enough messing around. You're an enforcer, Blue Blanc.
Ha ha! I think too. You're... I find the many
You may think yourself a swords...
Are you sure?
I'll be fine. Don't worry, the gap in skill between us is small enough that I should be able to
Oh?
Small? The difference in our strength is like night and day, you boor. And if you're foolish enough to be then allow me to make you realize...
The one being foolish and arrogant is you.
My.
Green?
I owe me being able to do this to you, Your Highness. Now.
What's happening?
Could this be your ogre?
8 leaves, 1 blade school. I, Green Schwarzer.
I will enjoy this.
This is his ogre power?
Here I go. My blade will cleave ignorance and blank away. Termination slash! Come on!
How can this be happening? What is he?
Ha ha ha! So you finally conquered your power.
Green!
Forgive me, Your Highness.
What for?
Goodness!
Wait just a damn...
Whoa, what's going on?
I don't know, but I don't think it's worth it.
We'll make our way directly to the deck. Are you all right, Your Highness?
Yes! Perfectly! My heart just feels as if it's about to burst!
That doesn't sound very fun.
Come on, is now really the time to be flirting?
You're here too.
You got some real guts, but you ain't getting past up.
Zephyr's guard shall not be eaten.
Looks like he's picked up a few tricks from our feed.
The targets have broken our line of defense. Commencing pursuit.
I'm sorry about that, Your Highness.
I'm fine. Can I hold on to you?
Of course.
Targets in sight. Commencing. My suspicions outlining you as an indecent person seem to have been confirmed.
Can you not make me out to be some kind of pervert all the time, please?
Target lost. I may have underestimated you, Green Schwarzer, in more ways than one.
I'm so sorry, Your Highness. I didn't really have any choice but to do that.
I know you didn't, but she seemed seemed even younger than me. How could you, Reen? That truly is indecent!
Try not to pay any attention to what she says about me. There's the exit.
Don't change the subject! That's the Ashen... Isn't that... Crow?
Huh. So that's how it manifests for you.
You finally mastered that power you got, huh? Still, you're one busy guy, you know that? One minute you're down in the dumps, the next, you've got one of the cutest girls in the country cheering you up.
Well, I can't deny it. She wasn't the only one. It was my sister.
Come on.
Can't say I'm not curious to see what that power of yours can do. But I think you get priority here, right?
Yeah, let me have this one.
Your Highness, if you don't mind.
Alright.
This is your first time fighting me without the mask on, I think. With our Divine Knights, I come out on top. But let's see who wins when it's just...
Sounds good to me. You managed to win against 3 of us at once in the catacombs below Heimdall. It's just you and me now.
And go ahead. Alright, you ready, Reen?
My turn! My blade will cleave ignorance and light the way. Termination slash!
Not bad.
My turn. Let's move. Let's move. Eat this! Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. There!
Damn.
That's what I can really do.
Huh. You actually did. I sure wasn't expecting you to beat me.
You fought pretty well yourself. Couldn't have been easy to last as long as you did.
Reen!
Why did this have to happen?
Guess your luck ran out.
Ha! We finally caught up to you.
Well, aren't you, Mr. Pop?
But I think you may have been slightly too reckless there.
That wasn't a bad fight. Even if you lost, at least you...
Your Highness, please move away from...
Hey, don't be too rough with... Look sharp!
Crimson Wake.
What are you all...
Sorry for the wait, Reen.
Yo, we're to sit.
You caught us all off guard back in Ymir.
So this time we opted to take the
We meet again, severing chains. And I see you brought...
She brought more than that. Check out the Icy Maiden and that big shot arts user from the Bracer Guild.
We couldn't ask for a more impressive.
Here it comes again.
Your lordship!
Uncle Victor!
It's good to see you again, and it relieves me to see you're none the worse for wear.
Ugh! Radiant Blade Master is here too?
Huh. Wow, you're strong. Very strong.
That's quite the nod coming from the blazing demon himself. I can see now why you're considered one of the fiercest in Ouroboros, and why some even claim you to be the Steel Maiden's equal.
Well, I know who I'm gonna be fighting.
Don't you go forgetting about us now.
You're all here too?
Are you okay, Reem?
Looks like we've landed in the middle of something.
And not a moment too soon.
You came!
Glad to see you're all right.
You certainly seem to have kept yourself busy. Enjoying your scandalous elopement with Reem.
He gave me the time of my life. You guys were having that much fun, huh?
And with our princess, Reem?
To think we were so worried about you.
You're not supposed to take it literally.
So this is what you threw me out of Valimar for? Doesn't look very fun.
Crow, you're here.
It feels like it's been ages since we last...
You're looking spiffy, Crow.
I'm hanging in there. Sure wasn't expecting all of you to show up, though. How are we even gonna settle this?
That is the question. I'd roughly estimate both sides to be...
Yeah? So we'd probably just end up at a stalemate.
Oh, doesn't sound like much fun at all. Let's say we just forego...
Ha ha ha! I could never turn down a party!
That sounds...
I'll bring the booze.
Ah! No, no, no! Can't one of you take this a little more seriously?
This is getting us nowhere.
Look who does...
Krianos.
Welcome aboard the pit. Your overall ability as a witch might still be lacking, but that transportation spell was... I must apologize for the untimely intrusion. As displeased as a few of you might be by the idea, I think it best if we let one another peacefully... I'll be the one who bears the brunt of Duke Cayenne's anger.
Vida.
Can't say I understand why we should.
It's not our place to question the orders.
Whatever. Gives me something to look forward to later.
Okay. See ya, Fee.
Next time we meet, it will be as enemy.
Yep, I know.
Aww, I was kind of hoping we'd be able to talk.
I expect we will have multiple opportunities to do so in the near future.
Well, catch you later, Phantom.
Or not. You do know that no one likes your stupid pranks, right?
Tut tut! There's no need to be so harsh. It's a shame we couldn't resume our debate on the nature of beauty this time, my most worthy rival.
I could wax eloquent about beauty till I'm old and gray, but honestly, I think it's about time we settled things between us.
Next time we meet, Radiant Blade Master and his daughter, it will be to battle.
Well, I certainly have no objection.
You seem to bear some manner of ill will against my household. I don't know your reasons, but should we be granted the opportunity, I would gladly settle things with you and
Yes, well, let's not be too hasty.
Guess that wraps things up for now. You've definitely grown, but you've still got plenty of room for improvement, especially when it comes. So unless you're up for another beatdown, I suggest you get to work on fit.
Yeah, I know. And just to confirm, you were the one who told Toval where I was.
2 days ago, I got a call out of nowhere. They gave me this crazy amount of... Oh, now that you mention it, he does have the same voice. I did think he sounded familiar. It must have been because I'd heard it during your concert at the festival.
Damn, looks like the jig is up.
You really did that?
Oh, Crow, there's no shame in admitting that you care.
And if I might be so bold as to offer a word of advice, get Valimar a better sword, one like yours. If you think you're such hot stuff you can beat me without your 8 leaves training, you're in for a world of hurt.
Correct choice of armaments is indeed paramount. Selecting one the Awakener is well suited to really...
I can't pretend to know much about this kind of thing.
He's right. Eastern blades like Maitachi are the heart and soul of the 8 leaves, 1 blade style swordsmanship. All right, I'll take your advice. And when I've got myself one, I'll for the Academy, and even you, Crow.
If that's how you want it, I'd like to see you...
Full speed ahead!